I told him. I told him the truth. Once I knew he was dying, I couldn't let him go to his grave thinking, wondering why. And I couldn't go to mine without finally being honest. His mother contacted me and asked me to come visit him. Apparently, in his less lucid moments, he called out my name, and my number was in his phone. Still there, after all this time. I saw the lace curtain twitched as I walked up the path, and the door opened before I had time to knock. Brenda looked like she hadn't slept in a week, but I guess she hadn't, realizing her son is fast losing his fight for life. "Thank you for coming," she said, but she didn't smile. I could feel her eyes piercing my back as I walked down the hall, and she did offer to show me the way. She knew she didn't need to. But there he was, the man I fell in love with 30 years ago. Only he was little more than a boy back then, 20 years old. I never dreamt it would be this way round. Him dying before me. He appeared to be asleep, but as I approached nearer, he turned and smiled. Hi, like it was just yesterday that we parted. "Look at that sunset, will you? I knew you would come at sunset." I held on to his hand, and I felt that familiar surge of energy that flowed between us. Not like that electric shock energy that always ended in a shagging session. And oh yes, we had plenty of those. But that gentle hum of synchronicity. We talked. We reminisced about our time together, about our time apart, about our time together but apart, and what the future held. Pancreatic cancer is a bastard, but I guess you gotta die of something, and it looks like 50 is gonna have to do me. Oh well, who wants to go old anyway? Then it seemed like the right time to tell him. He took a hold of my hands, and that gentle hum was more intense, almost palpable. He smiled. "Love is love," he said. And suddenly, I wanted to hit him. To say, "Why didn't you say that 30 years ago?" But even if he had, I still would have walked away. I had to. Of course, if I had been the one that was 20. But how could I tie up a young man to a woman that's 26 years his senior? It's not biologically right. He took a hold of my hand, until the sky outside grew dark. Not talking, just being together, until he started to become uncomfortable. You should go home now. I need to take my pain medication, and it seems to always make me a little doolally. But he didn't let go of my hand. "I'll see you on the other side. Promise?" "Promise." And he let go of my hand. I didn't kiss him goodbye. I knew I didn't need to. I stood and held my hand to my face, and it was still warm. A a smile, and I left. He died 3 days later. I didn't go to the funeral. I didn't need to. Now here I am, looking at another sunset and looking at my morphine tablets and wondering if I should take the lot. I mean, why avoid the inevitable? I'm ready to go. But I waited 30 years. I guess I can wait a bit longer. I sure hope there are good sunsets on the other side.